Welcome to our next video. We're talking about monetary policy strategies. A central bank needs to ensure that the price level, that the growth rate of inflation rate, or let's better say the growth rate of the price level, which means the inflation rate. A central bank needs to ensure that the inflation rate does not exceed a certain value, say 2% per year. How can a central bank possibly do this, given the fact of the equation of quantity theory of money? We have the amount of money, we have the monetary base, or we have, let's just say we have an amount of money multiplied by the velocity of money equals the product of real GDP and the price level, to put it this way, nominal GDP. So we cannot directly influence, a central bank cannot directly influence the price level, but it can do so indirectly. It can do so indirectly with one of those four, or with a combination of those four monetary policy strategies. Those two focus on M. Those two focus on M. They focus on the amount of money. Say, if we put it in growth rate, we have the growth rate of money plus the growth rate of the velocity of money equals the growth rate of real GDP plus the growth rate of price level, which means the inflation rate. If we suppose that the velocity, the growth rate of velocity of money equals 0, which is true in the long run, if we think this is 0, so we'd say that GP equals GM, the growth rate of money, minus the growth rate of real GDP. So if we influence the growth rate of money, we indirectly influence the growth rate of price level. And that's here. Watching or taking a look at monetary base or money targeting rule always influences the growth rate of money and thereby influencing the growth rate of price level, the inflation rate. That's important to know about those two. Then there are some central banks who are better off using an exchange rate targeting rule. An exchange rate targeting rule, which means crawling peg, which is done by many central banks, which was done by many central banks, and which is still done by many central banks right now. And then there is the inflation rate targeting rule, with central banks having somewhat negative experience having used this rule, having used the monetary base instrument rule or the money targeting rule, with financial innovations and so on, having made bad experiences about it, who are better off with inflation rate targeting rule. That's somewhat of pronouncing. We want to have 3% and we start doing so. We start doing so with influencing the monetary base, with influencing other nominal bases. That's it when it comes to inflation rate targeting rule. Now, what's important to understand, what's important to know, everything needs to be focused on the growth rate of price level. Everything needs to be focused on the inflation rate. And there are different ways of getting there, but the target, in the long run, it's always about GP. That's it for now. Thank you for watching.